Hello, everybody. I've been asked a few times now by family and friends if I could give some sort of primer video on the basics of calisthenics. The idea here in this video is to cover a lot of the simple techniques and workout exercises that you can perform to supplement your own fitness goals, whether that be adding to your gym subscription or membership, or possibly being something you can do on the go, whether you're traveling or at home. These are all pretty simple techniques that you can do pretty much any time for free. Hoping that this could be something helpful for you if you're looking for ways that you can start approaching fitness in some way at all, or if you're hoping to find new ways to go a little further than where you currently are. Other than that, we'll go ahead and get into the video. Now, the push-up is one of the simplest moves you can do for building a lot of strength in the pushing department. This involves building both chest, triceps, as well as your shoulders when making this movement. Simply put, you want to put your arms to your sides, ideally not at that 180 degrees shown in a lot of TV shows, which can be really stressful on your shoulders and your body. Instead, go for a 45-degree angle with hands at about the chest height. Or you could also bring your arms in even closer, but again, try and keep those hands near the chest to really engage that area of your body. Now, when you're doing this exercise, try not to let your back bend and your stomach hit the ground first. Ideally, you want to have a flat back with scapulas protracted downwards. If they're rolling inwards, such as this, or they're retracted, that can be bad form. Try and keep them protracted outwards as you control your push all the way up and down. Now, while the normal push-up is good for building a lot of strength, it can be a little bit too hard for beginners and a little bit too easy for more advanced athletes. To make this a little more intense, you can lean your body forward, bring your hands back closer to your hips. This will increase the difficulty but put more focus on your shoulders. To go on the easier side, you can instead raise your body upwards and do your push-ups at an angle such as this. Although be careful to find something that's a good distance for your body and also maintains good form, such as here, where your hands are again aligned with your chest. Now, if this is still too hard, you can increase the angle even more so to make the exercise even easier. Eventually, you get to the point where you are standing straight up and down against a wall doing push-ups. This is a great way to get high reps as a beginner without doing too much. In addition, you can decrease the lever that you're using when you're doing your push-ups, such as being on your knees. This decreases the overall load on your pushing muscles and will help you gain strength in the earlier stages of your fitness. Focusing more on the triceps, we can turn to dips. While this also engages a little bit of the shoulder and the chest, depending on how we lean, dips allow us to really focus on building tricep strength by pushing our body upwards through our triceps. Similarly, we can look towards Sphinx push-ups as a way to isolate our triceps even further. Here, we're doing a push-up basically through the forearms, forcing our triceps to do a lot of the work. Similarly, we can load the triceps using movements such as tricep extensions, shown here, allowing us to possibly bend our elbows a little bit further than we could get with a Sphinx push-up. And of course, we can make this movement easier by raising our body up higher and decreasing the angle or the lever and overall weight on our triceps. To build strength in the shoulders, we can use pike push-ups as a way to isolate our shoulders a little bit more than a regular push-up. Here, you basically stand in an inverted position or a pike position and push up and down through the shoulders. We can make this more difficult by stepping forward slowly but surely, increasing the amount of weight we put onto our shoulders, eventually getting to the point that we're practically doing a handstand in which all of our weight is being supported through our shoulders. For pulling exercises, the pull-up is king. Simply put, here, you hang on a bar in a passive position at this point here, and retract your shoulders backwards to engage your back, and then pull your body upwards, trying to bring your chin above the bar or chest to the bar, kind of your call. This can be done in a neutral grip, such as here, allowing us to engage a little bit more of our biceps instead of mostly the lats of our back. Similarly, we can turn our hands around to face us in a supinated grip and perform chin-ups. In this position, we put even more focus onto the biceps, but of course are engaging plenty of our back as well. Regardless of the hand position you choose, do make sure that you aren't kipping and kicking around to try and throw your body above this bar. At least for building strength, this kind of teaches us out. Rather than doing these kicking motions to build momentum, we can simply hop up into the air and lower ourselves down slowly in a negative. This allows us to engage our back through a lot of these positions that are difficult to pull ourselves all the way up into, developing a little bit of strength. Similarly, if you have a band, you could always use that to try to decrease your own weight, or stand with your feet and use your feet to support yourself through pull-ups. Now, to engage the rest of the back, we can use things such as rowing maneuvers that allow us to engage more of the central back and the erectus spinae that follows the spine. Here, I am again going from this passive position here, retracting my shoulders backwards to engage my scapula, and then pulling my body upwards towards the bar. You can increase and decrease that angle to make it more or less difficult. You can also turn your hands around towards you, again, to engage a little bit more of the biceps throughout your body weight rows. Now, if you don't have a bar, or if this is a little bit too hard for you, you can instead do an elevated row from a vertical position. Here, reach out and grab a door frame and simply pull yourself towards the wall, trying to keep your hand at about the middle part of your torso. Here I'm trying to find the right spot and also avoid being smacked around by a plant too much. You can lean back further to engage more of your back and put more stress into it. However, this has strong limitations on how much weight you can put into this pull. For leg workouts, squats are the bread and butter for building strength in the legs. Here you engage most of your quads, a little bit of glutes, and a little bit of hamstrings, as well as maybe a little bit of calves too. This is a great maneuver to build flexibility, but also build strength in your legs. Simply squat all the way down as low as you can go comfortably and push yourself back up. Now, to make this a little more intense, you can put all of your body weight onto a single leg here in the pistol squat. Again, just squat down as far as you can, and then push yourself back up with one leg. There are other supported methods of this to make this slightly easier. One way to make this easier would be to hold on to a wall here to support yourself, removing the need to balance from the equation. If pistol squats are a little too difficult, but you still want to isolate one leg over the other in your workouts, you can instead do archer squats. Here, the lean is all into one leg, allowing you to get a little bit more weight onto that leg than you would through a normal squat. To gain a little bit more strength in the legs in general than a normal squat, you could also do explosive or jumping squats, in which you have to add a little more strength and power out of each leg. Now, to engage a little more of the glutes, you can use pseudo step-ups, in which you push from the ground like so on one leg, but then slowly lower yourself down without using your foot to support you, ideally. This allows you to engage the glutes and some of the hamstrings a lot more as you slowly lower yourself down that one leg. If you want to engage the hamstrings in the bicep curl of the legs, you can use Nordic curls. This basically involves anchoring your legs under some bed or couch or some other anchor, and pulling yourself upwards into an upright position, slowly lowering yourself forward as far as you can, ideally to the ground. However, I'm not strong enough to go all the way down. But ideally curling yourself up and down with your hamstrings. You can also try to engage hamstrings through glute bridges as well as your glutes, as the name suggests. To make this more difficult, you can elevate your body higher, and again, using one leg instead of two puts a little bit more weight onto that one given leg. Lastly, to engage the calves, you can simply do calf raises shown here. While one of the biggest drawbacks of calisthenics, or strict calisthenics, is that you don't have a lot of weight to add to these exercises, making it a little difficult to build lots of muscle, these are still good exercises to keep and maintain fitness at a decent level. So when it comes time to finally plan out your fitness routine and how you might go about doing your workouts, there are a lot of ideas out there. For example, here we have a workout plan from our bodyweightfitness over on Reddit, in which they have you work out for about an hour total. You warm up for about 10 minutes doing light stretching and doing dynamic exercises like jumping jacks. and then get into doing a full body workout, going from your first set being 2 back-to-back workouts. You do 3 sets of 5 to 8 pull-ups, and then you do 3 sets of squats, 5 to 8 reps. That would mean that you would go to your pull-up bar, do 5 to 8 pull-ups, or whatever variant of pull-up you can do, then immediately go from those 5 to 8 pull-ups into 5 to 8 squats at a progression that is good for you. So if you can do 3 sets of squats with 5 to 8 reps, then you probably need to go higher. Maybe you do 5 to 8 archer squats. And if that feels pretty difficult for you, then you know you're at a good progression. Now, after doing that first superset of A1 and A2, you would then move on to your second one, in which you do 3 sets of 5 to 8 dips and 5 to 8 curls. So again, doing a dip progression that feels right for you, immediately followed by your Nordic curls with your hamstrings, waiting and resting for about 90 seconds, and then getting back into that superset, doing dips and Nordic curls again, waiting 90 seconds, and then doing a final third set of those 2 together. Similarly, you can do the same thing for rows and push-ups at the end of this routine, followed by some ab workout that they talk about further. So that would be one workout day. And with a full body workout such as this, they recommend that you would do 1 day of workout, resting for a whole day, and then doing another day of workout the following day, resting for a whole day, doing a third final day of workout for the week, and then resting over the weekend or your last 2 days before repeating it the following week. Now note here, this isn't a ton of working out. This has a lot of rest, and that's very important. We often get hyped up on the idea of working out to build strength. We gotta work out every single day and go crazy. But that's not always the best for building strength. Especially as a beginner, you need a lot of time to let your body rest and heal, for your muscles to repair, and that's where you build a lot of your energy and strength and build muscle. And there's plenty of research on this you can find elsewhere for more detailed information. Now, if this doesn't seem right to you, or you don't like the idea of doing a full body workout, you can instead do things like a push-pull leg split. This would mean that on one day you do all of your pushing exercises. Perhaps you do 3 sets of 5 to 8 reps of push-ups, then pike push-ups, then dips, then knee push-ups, then tricep extensions, etc. You can change this up, of course, however you feel, but generally put the things you want to focus on up towards the front, especially the more difficult exercises that are compound, that involve a lot of different muscle groups. The idea here is that if you're trying to do an intense exercise, such as you want to do chin-ups, but you've already done a bunch of bicep curls with weights, then your biceps are tired, and that might mitigate or limit you to how many chin-ups you can do and how properly you can do them. So put these big compound, many muscle exercises up front and focus on those first, unless you have other focuses in mind. And similarly for the legs, they have a nice list of different leg workouts you can do here, from intense pistol squats, getting down to lighter pseudo step-ups and glute bridges, to the easiest calf raises at the end of your workout. This you can do in a 1 day push-up, 1 day pull, 1 day push, 1 day pull, 1 day leg, followed by a day of rest, and then repeating all 3 of these again if you want to. Or you can put more rest days in between, maybe do a push, pull, leg, rest, push, pull, rest, rest type of exercise routine. You can kind of tailor to your own needs. And lastly, for more idea, you can throw together your whole upper body on 1 day. So perhaps you superset push-ups and pull-ups, followed by pike push-ups and body rows, followed by dips and chin-up negatives on your first day of working out. Your second day, you do your full lower body exercise routine, and you follow this for 1 day of upper, 1 day of lower, resting a day, doing another day of upper, another day of lower, and resting for 2 more days. These are just some ideas for ways you can do better exercises and change up the way you're doing your plans. But overall, throwing anything at your fitness is good. The more you can do to a degree, to get rest, the better. So go out there, and if you are looking for any advice or help, I'm always happy to help out. And again, there are plenty of resources out there on YouTube, Reddit, all over social media. All you gotta do is search and look. Hopefully these terms will help a little bit. But with that, y'all, hope you all have a great day, and we'll catch you later.